Yay, yay. It's that beautiful day. You know? It's that kind of day when, wow, it's going to be a good day. It sure is. I'm so happy you're here with me today. I missed you all. Welcome to my new concept. You know, I believe that, the best things in life are free. Maybe you believe too. With time. Put some big band here. How about some violins? Let's tag it. My students know that I'm crazy because I talk about this being the turnaround. Like, imagine being stuck in a turnaround that you can't get out of, right? You're on the inner lane. So you want to go out, but it puts you back inside, and you just keep going around. Three. go home. One, two, ba-doo, ba-ba-doo, ba-ba-doo, ba. Yeah. Hey, welcome world. I'm so happy to see you. And it's been a long time since I did some broadcasting. So I might be a little rough around the edges, but I see Rudolph's here. Hey, Rudy. Pietro. Welcome, Italia. Ranger. How's it going, John? Don't be afraid to ask questions, because that's what this show is all about. I thought I'd design a show that would help you learn how to play music in an easy way. I think one of the problems is that a lot of us get introduced to music when we're young, and it becomes something of a chore. And music should never be a chore. It's a blessing. And I believe that truly. And that's why I decided to do this show on Saturday mornings, because music has given me so much in my life that I could never begin to repay it. But I could at least share it. And that's what this show is about. Sharing music and talking about music, talking about playing. Sometimes I'll have guests. But every show, I'd like to give you a simple music lesson so that you can take it with you for the week and maybe practice a little bit and have fun. Don't let the word practice become negative. Let's make it become a time, a special time for me, you, to just enjoy some sonic beauty and make your music and sculpt it. See, I think when you get into formal lessons, like when you take lessons with me online, we go a lot deeper in trying to develop the fingering and all that kind of stuff. And there's the right place for that. And you know, I have the place too. We'll talk about that later. Let's just talk about this beautiful thing called music and what my intentions are for this show are. So I believe that music, if you don't let it go in your head first, just let it be in your heart. Everybody has it. You watch people dance freely. They dance. They don't think about whether they're putting the step down on 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or somewhere in between. It just happens. So I believe that music is an energy. And I have a little deeper thought about music. I believe it's the language of God. But one of the true languages of God. But let's just talk about music as an entity. It's an energy, right? When you hear music, makes you want to do something. Sad music makes you want to cry. A song that you remember from the past may trigger up memories. So music has a very deep impact on our emotions and our soul. So what I would like to try to do is help you find that. And then if you decide you need to go deeper, okay, we'll go. We can go. There's a lot of people that can help you go there. But for the meantime, let's have fun. Now listen, you don't need to invest anything. Let me just tell you that right off the bat. Unless you don't have a keyboard, you may have to go find one, okay? But they're as easy as this. In America, we have a chain of stores called Walmart. And in Walmart, they have a toy section where they sell MIDI keyboards, 61-note MIDI keyboards for $100. Like Casio, the company that I endorse. They have wonderful lines of keyboards. So for less than $100, you can buy yourself something that has some wonderful sounds. But even better, maybe in your city there's a secondhand music store or a friend who just might want to let you use their keyboard for a while. Try to think that music is a gift. So we don't have to invest a whole lot. We have to invest ourselves, okay? So there's free applications, and I know everybody has cell phones. So there's free applications, and there's paid applications. I use a drum program for my show, and when I practice, called Drum Genius, okay? Drum Genius is an application that you can find, and it has a lot of great grooves. I like it because it sounds like real drums. I don't really depend on the drum programming when I play. I play with real drummers. So I just need this to set a nice groove, and keep time. And we're going to talk about all of these elements in our first show here. This is exciting. So let me tell you how this is going to work. If you go to my website, b3monaco.com, you'll see my new ad for the show. Or up here, you'll see there's a music shop talk. And when you click that, it's going to take you to this special page that I've dedicated to you, okay? And every week, the lesson will have a play-along section. I've already loaded it up for you. So let me see if I can just send you the link to go to. You can just go right there right now. Watch how cool this is. Okay? And so every week I'll have some stuff up there after the show that you can go to and practice and play along, okay? So here's the link. And that way you can catch up if you miss a week. You can go watch the rerun from this show, and then you can go back and play the video that you want to play, see? And it'll play a lesson. It'll be like some play-along hints and stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun. By the way, if you want to stay involved with me, join my Tony Monaco Students and Friends group at facebook.com groups Tony's Hang, and stay in touch with all my students and friends that are in the industry and lurking in, right? Hey, Erden, welcome from Turkey. From Ukraine via Turkey, right? All right. So let me come back to where am I? How about the big me? It's the big me. All right. Now, how about the show me? Show me all. Okay, there we go. So I have a 76-note keyboard that I just purchased. I'm really happy. It's the first time I bought gear in, I can't remember, because I'm kind of a minimalist when it comes to playing music. I've had satisfaction for 50 years on this instrument right below me. So it does everything I love to do. But if you purchase one of these keyboards, they can split or not, okay? So if they split, then you can make what they call a split button, and it makes your left hand sound like bass sounds, and your right hand sound like whatever sound you choose. So for our first lesson, since most people have pianos, and by the way, when I teach lessons online, I've just begun to start teaching split keys as well, because there's a lot of keyboard players out there who want to learn how to command the left-hand bass, but don't necessarily need to learn all the organ styles. So now I can teach you this way, and when I do my lessons, I record them, and I also can record MIDI data. So it's really kind of cool. So I'm going to take this Kurzweil PC47, and I'm going to push the split button. And what that's going to allow me to do is with the sustain pedal, just for you that might be interested, I can sustain the piano sound, but the bass doesn't. So I have free control of what I do with my left hand without affecting sustain. So that cleans up the ability to say things with my left hand freely without the sustain messing with it, okay? So that's the way I kind of look at playing split keys. We got to get a bass sound that doesn't have the sustain if you're going to be doing piano type or sostenuto pedal stuff. Then you want to keep your bass free from that. That's just a little hint. So this show will be a lot about these kind of things, and we'll talk about music, and you're allowed to ask questions. That's what this is about. I'm going to answer them. I'm not going to go deep in music theory. We're not going to talk about real deep things. We're just going to learn how to play. So here's my take on what music is, okay? Besides the fact that I believe it's a true language of God and that music is an energy, it's created by harmony and rhythm, okay? You can't have music without both. Now, the rhythm in today's modern music is much more calculated. What I'm saying is it might have an exact calculation, so it might be never moving tempo. It might always stay the same tempo. That's most of our music that we listen to today. And we'll talk mostly about that kind of music because when we play freely, it has a different kind of flow. And it might not be from a drum groove or a metronome. It could be it speeds up and slows down. That's where the orchestra conductor starts to control the whole flow. But when you're playing in a, hey, Jean, how's roulette? Good to see you, Paul. Hey, Bill, good mornings. Hey, what's going on, man? Good to see you. My phone's already ringing, but I can't answer it. Sorry about that. So you can't have music without both notes, which make harmony, okay, and rhythm, which is the place to put the notes, okay? When you look at a percussionist, for instance, they will use different sounds, okay? So they might have one sound, or they might hit it differently to make different tones. So even a percussionist who might not be playing your traditional keyboard or an instrument that plays these kind of things, there's tones that they use. So they're making music because they're taking rhythms, right? And they're taking harmony and putting it together. So when you're a keyboard player of my kind, where you are the bass player, you have to understand that concept. Hey, B3 Gary. Gary, how are you doing, man? Adrian, welcome. Can't wait to see you guys in the group at 1:30. We'll talk about that. So the rhythm is your notes on, all right, and off, right? The way you phrase it. So to make music, we are going to start with a constant flow. That's going to be the rhythm. And we are going to make rhythm expressions, moving notes, right, to make harmony, and together that makes music. So for our first example, I'm going to grab a simple pop groove. Now, by the way, you could just go to youtube.com and type in funk drums, for example. And a lot of patterns will come up in different BPMs. That's called beats per minute, how fast it beats, okay? So I'm going to just use a regular pop drum groove. Very simple, straight, right down the center. And I'm going to keep it slow for our example, all right? We're going to be at 60 beats per minute, all right? Each second is a beat then, okay? So 60 beats per minute is 60 seconds, okay? So this is the speed of our watch, of our clock, the speed of our world, basically. So everything, it seems like a lot of musical tempos are based off of derivatives of that, like 90 or 110, or 120. You find a lot of those kind of grooves set in this in the 60, and then the mathematical divisions added to it in tempos. Funk tunes are usually between around 90 and 110, 120 is the fast side, right? So 60 beats per minute is the clock, all right? That's a good tempo. So the first thing we have to do to be able to play music is to establish a groove, okay? So I just want to speak about this really quick because this is important. And so I'm going to introduce concepts of music so that when you're playing, you'll have concepts to go by. I don't want you to try to think about, reading music right now. I just want you to feel it, okay? We're just going to feel it, and it's going to be easy, okay? So if you can look at this distance right here between the top note here and the bottom note here, and imagine it's a ruler with a bunch of small little increments, right? When you look at a computer, you could increase the size of one beat. It looks like a rectangle about this size. This is one beat. Okay, so we're increasing things because we're going to talk about the groove. And I want to show you how wide it is and what it is. So if I say 1, 2, 3, 4, I put it right in the middle, don't I? Because I'm right in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So when you play this drum track, each beat is falling on the center of each beat. Okay? That means that what a groove is, it's all these little increments in between the center of where 1, 2, 3, 4 is, and where beat 2 starts, or if this is beat 2, where beat 3 starts and where beat 1 comes into here. So there's a large distance, right? So what a groove is when you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're putting this groove right in the center, right? But let's say I want it to come in a little faster. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. See, it's coming in ahead of the beat. How about if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, put it behind the beat? So a groove is established when you put that other accent exactly in a new place. And the reason why I said exactly is because guess what? It is mathematical. If you're speeding up or slowing down, you cannot establish a groove. Why? Because this distance keeps changing. It doesn't flow freely from one beat to the next, okay? So this is why music teachers tell you to practice with a metronome. Not to torture you, actually, but to help you start to understand that to play music, you have to establish a groove. In order to establish a groove, you got to have something constant to put that notch, that little groove, so that it always falls in that special little place. All of the stuff that we're going to do today at the beginning is going to fall right in the center. And then I'm going to allow you to explore in your own time some fun stuff that you can see if it works or not. See, we're going to look at it that way. We're not going to get too crazy in counting and looking at 8th notes and 16th notes and rests. And we don't need to do that to play music. I never needed that. I just needed to let my soul play the notes that it heard and wanted to play. On a right hand, we're going to play the harmony for a chord. And I can just tell you right now that to make the sound of the chord right, you should always have the 3 in there, because the 3 says what? Hey, I'm major. Hey, I'm minor. Okay? Just tells you that. But if you have that in your chord, it tells you, hey, I'm major. Hey, I'm minor. The other note that's kind of important to have in your hand is what they call the 7. Because the 7, just trust me, lets you feel whether you're going to stay or whether you're going to go. Because it's called the leading tone. It can lead you out, right? So those are the 2 most important notes that you have to play in your right hand if you're going to be a left-hand bass player, because you've got the root in your left hand. When you listen to the music and we play in C, it sounds like this. That's all you have to do. Okay? 1. I'm playing it on every other beat. Can you feel that kind of like? I'm not. So you always want to practice with time, so you start to understand how it feels. Because if you start to change the groove, you have to trust that first. Okay? So for right now, we're just going to play in time, right on the beat. Try to get it. Now, I may foul some because I'm speaking to you and thinking, but see how I'm locked into it? That's the most important part about playing bass, is locking in to 1. Now, they got this phrase called universal 1 when we start talking about groove. And on this one, it's kind of fallen on beats 1 and 3, right? 1 and 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. But you could say the big universal one is boom, boom, boom. So as long as that note comes down, that's all you really have to play. The rest of it is not necessary. And you, I'm not trying to establish a groove yet, left hand. Stay on the beat. Okay. On the right hand, we're going to establish a chord that has a 3 and a 7. You're going to play E. That's the third note from C. Right? And you're going to play this B flat. Right? So, 2, 3. So every other beat, just stay with me. Hit them every 2. Hey, Toby, long time. How are you? Hey, Little Rock, what's going on? Right? This is our beat, and 1 and 3. Just try to keep that locked and forget about it. Right? And then we'll just put this on 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So don't think about counting now. Right? We know where it's at. Just play it. Actually subdivide the rhythms in your head because you can feel them on the drums, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And just start playing that, right? Okay? Here we go. Okay? Just keep it going. Get it nice and smooth so that it's just happening. See, I had to get my mind and muscle memory together so that I could forget about this. And it takes that to be able to play a solo on top of. So once you get this down, then you can say other notes. See, I missed the beat too because my mind short-circuited. So I'm already splitting it in two. And this is the hardest part about playing keys, is splitting your left hand from your right hand. This is a Kurzweil PC4. I just bought it. It's the first gift I've given myself in a few years. Okay, right? You got that? Okay, good. So if you go to my website, I got that where you can play along to it, and I show you some really cool secrets. But let me show you one during this lesson. So if you take both of these fingers, okay? By the way, this is called a chromatic keyboard because these notes represent the diatonic scale that we Westerners know. This represents the pentatonic scale that the Far East knows, right? And you just use the flats and sharps, you get that kind of sound. Hey, Daisuke. Is Daisuke here? Oh, I haven't seen Daisuke in a long time. The white notes make our more modern sounds, right? So a chromatic keyboard combines the East and the West, all cultures in one. That's why the chromatic keyboard is very cool, because you can play all the different harmonies in many different ways. So the next step is taking both of these fingers and dropping them together. So this E becomes E flat, this becomes A. See? Look at that. Both fingers. And you know, your fingering has to work for you. For me, I got my pinky here on this time. It's because when I don't think about it, I play fingering that's going to work for the phrase that I'm going to play. So playing music is not just about playing scales. It's about playing phrases or speaking a particular thing in a particular spot. So your fingering is going to change a lot as your harmonies change tonal centers. But just for now, we're going to take these two and drop them down. So that worked pretty good. Put the fourth finger on this and right? And just let your finger, you could either go switch two fingers. Does that work good for you? I'm using the index and the pinky and then the thumb and the four. Right? There you go. All right. So we're going to just call this an approach to this. So while we're playing this, we always have to play these two. But we can kind of like come to it by saying, you hear that? Now we're not going to stop here. Can't stop here because this is a wrong chord, right? But you can use this as an approach, right? So you could say 1, 2, 3. Let's simplify our brain power now because we don't want to be thinking 1 and 3. Let's just hit it on the beat, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Try that, okay? Here we go. Oh. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, down, up, 2, 3. You won't believe how hard this is for people who have been playing many years that never learned it. I have to really work hard on this just because your muscle memory doesn't have it. You're used to playing straight scales. So you got to learn how to play these chromatic things to get your hands used to switching tonal centers. But see, I always end with the E and B flat because it tells me C7. See, now you hear C. So that's where groove comes in, see? As long as we put this on 1, maybe we could say long, short, long, short, long, short. How about the other way? Short, wait, 2, 3, short, long, 2. You gotta wait a little longer, right? Short, long, 2, 3, 4, short, long. Do a couple more times. Short, long. That's all. Don't think about where it is. Just think about how it makes music, right? Short, long. How about long, short? Long, short. 2, 3. Long, short. 2, 3. Short, long. You gotta wait a little bit if you want to make that. So that's what a groove is. It's when you establish where you're going to put something and you put it there. We played it real nice and square by saying 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. That's a nice way to get comfortable. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. That's what you want to always go back to. We can call that the center, right? Now you can start messing around. Short, long, right? Short, long. You got to wait a little bit. You got to go short, long, 2, 3, short, long. See, that's how we play. We don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, and. We just go 1, 2, 3, We get the feel. 2, 3, see? Right? So when you go to my website, I give you some variations with different grooves that you can try, all right? And that's our homework for this week. But I'm going to show you some notes, and I'm going to tell you what a solo is. I know what you're thinking. A solo is my chance to turn everything up real loud and play everything real fast. Yeah, that's one way. I tell you, a solo is a story. It's my chance. I own this time to tell you my story. So how do we do it in the English language or whatever language you are from? You use the alphabet, and you pick letters, and you make combinations, and that makes a word. And then you put several words together, and that makes a sentence, and on, right? That's what we do with music. Don't think of it. Don't think of it as I got to play C major scale, and then I got to play all this. No. Let's just tell a story. Let's pick some notes to play it with, and let's see if we can make those notes sound cool. The moment it sounds like a scale, all right, because we're not playing scales. We're telling a story. You don't go to somebody and say, okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. You can't, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, it's the same thing if you do that here. It's just yelling the alphabet. So we're going to take some notes. Check this out. 1, C, 2, D, 3, E, 5, G, 6, A. Okay? Listen to this. 1, 2, 3. We're going to skip this for now. We're going to play this. Whoa! Well, watch this. Hear that sound, that pentatonic? Because penta means 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes. Well, I can make that same sound by just saying 1, 2, 3, skip 4, and play 5, 6. So we're going to use those notes now to start telling a story. So if you start saying, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Now, you may want to say that. That's okay. But if you keep saying that, that's all you're going to get. So what you want to do is make a word like play around with note combinations. So you start to make a storyline. And what you want to do is kind of like just use those notes that make this tell the story. You already got the story in your heart. I'm going to help you get it out, okay? So you're going to take these drums. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to tell a little story. And you're going to do it. Come on, drums. Now, it was working once, wasn't it? Okay, let's try that. It's got a mind of its own. So remember our 2 notes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3. Bonus round, right? Those are our different combinations that we can choose to tell the supportive part of the story, okay? That's called complimenting. You know when you tell a story and you got a couple of friends that witness what you just said? And you tell a story that's so ridiculous that it takes the friends to say, it happened. That's what these guys are right here. They're going, yeah, it's C7. Oh, yeah. How about if, oh, no, that didn't happen. That's what this is doing here. And this is just saying, come on, guys, let's go. Right? It's got to keep going. It can't stop. It's like a heartbeat. It's the life. So I'm going to tell a story. So my brain short-circuited right there. Because you got 3 things going on. So here's how you do it. If you were a pilot, you'd be flying this plane. But if you only watched one instrument, you might crash into something. But if you scan the instrument panel, you see the horizon, the blue's up, okay, we're good, sky's up. Right? We're not tilted, okay, we're not turning. Right? It's called a scan. We're scanning when we play. This one kind of has to be the last one that you think about. So it has to be the one you play the most. You got to do this all the time, because this is the one you got to forget about, unless you want to say. Right? So then my brain can think about that. But for now, it's just going to just forget about this, because it's got to think, I got to play E, B flat, and if I want to approach it, I got to do that. Maybe I make them long, short, long, right? That's what you're thinking here. Here, I want to start telling you the story. Like, this is a happy one. Makes you feel happy, right? So make happy music. Now, let's kind of make it sound sad, because this note here and this note are a little different, right? Just feel them and see what they do to your soul. See, I'm using the same notes, but I'm making it sound totally different. And remember that music is rhythm and notes, so if you can change the rhythmic expressions, some fast, some slow, then you start breathing life. Like, how about just, those two live right there. See, we just put them right there. Let's play a couple of them together. So start trying to learn to be able to tell your story, but support it. When you're done saying something, maybe I'm done, I might want to say. You can change the rhythm of those comps. If it feels like it fits, it does. Okay? You have the freedom to choose what you do with that tune, ta. And you can do a lot of things that don't take a lot of energy just by combining things, okay? So I'm going to give you extra credit homework. If you feel you can find a place to add this note or this note or even this note, you can mess around with them. Here's the deal. They're dangerous. They can make you sound really bad too. Okay? They're dangerous. You got to know what you're doing with them. But let me show you a little secret. The definition of optimism and pessimism, okay? Because to me, music is my whole life. So I can just about equate everything I've done into music. All right. So, and don't let me forget where I was going to go. Somebody type, what did I just say? Because I just forgot what I was going to tell you that's kind of important. It'll come back anyhow. The dangerous notes. Optimism, pessimism. So let's say you go to play this note, but you quickly notice as you're playing it, your soul goes, eh. Well, if you're feeling pessimistic that day, you'll probably slide it down. If you're feeling optimistic that day, you might slide it up. Both notes are right. Just depends where you're at, right? So let's try that. Okay, so we're going to get right on the beat right here. It's a long short, right? How about short? So you gotta think about that. Right? That's my short long. Make them legato. How about? So you can make them any way you want. It's your world. You choose. Now, optimistic. They're both great, right? So it depends on how you choose to use it. But you can slide on any of these. So start doing that. Right? It's hard to... That one you kind of have to do that. So that's what makes some of the expression, like when you say, hey, you know what's going on, right? Right? Hey, what? Yeah? Those little extra words. Whoa, that sounded all bluesy, right? You can make all kinds of little fun things. So that's it. That's what you get. Now, when you go to the website, b3monaco.com, I play some different grooves, some bossa grooves, some funk grooves. You can have some fun. All right? So that's the music lesson for the day. It took longer than I thought. I told everybody I was just going to spend 10 minutes, but as you can tell, I love to teach music, and music doesn't have to be complicated, man. When I play music, I don't think much different than that. I have developed lines and words and vocabulary throughout the years, and I found little secrets here and there that I can just use the language pretty good, you know. I can compliment a little bit better because I've been spending a long time complimenting myself. So if you're a vocalist or an instrumentalist, but especially vocalists, you're welcome, Bill. You want to learn how to compliment yourself, because if you can't compliment yourself, then the chords are not going to sound right, right? So when you're learning to play a song that you're going to back up someone, try to learn the melody line and then find the places where the melody line stops. And where that is going to be probably the best place to play your voicing with that note on the top. The vocalist and the audience, if the singer is going to hear, going to say G, and you got to play a G7. If you play a G7 underneath it, everybody hears the top note for the singer. If you say, now all of a sudden you're standing out above that note. So try when you're learning how to play new melodies to stop on the key points and find the chord that's written on the paper. We don't have to worry about alterations right now. Try to find the chord. And whatever chord is written, try to learn that chord for now. Whether it's right or wrong, don't worry about that. Just try to learn so you start to learn, oh, God, that's a C major 7. Oh, it takes these notes. Right? And there's so many free resources to find that. Or you could just book a lesson with me, all right? So I got to do a commercial break. So here it is. Here's my website, b3monaco.com. If you go there, I got a lot of stuff. I have a school. It's only $14.95 a month. And as a matter of fact, coming real soon here in just a few minutes at 1:30, there's a group, and it's called the Bass and Comp and Solo Group. And if you go to my calendar page, you can book those real easily. They're just $15. All of the students that are in these two groups end up either end up being working musicians, or I don't know what it is about when you take a bunch of people together and you make them play in front of each other. There's some serious competition, so it's easy to, but in a loving way, because our groups are guided by me. It's not about, it's about growth, not taking inventories. So you just book the ticket, right? And if you go to my calendar page, you could join our 1:30 group. And we cover really cool things. I show little grooves like I just did now, some solo concepts, and we go song by song. On Tuesday nights, another group. It meets at 7:30 Eastern, and it's all on your schedule. Soon I'm going to be starting a more basic group, and I'm going to hold it to it. The problem is when I get some really good students that go, I don't want to hold them back. So I'll just start another group for more simple beginning playing, because these groups can get a little bit, a little bit in there. But this Saturday group's the one you want to try anyhow, if you want to try one. If you go to the Shop Talk page, I just wanted you to see that you can access my school and my own lessons right from this show lesson page. Of course, I told you I already loaded up the video for today's lesson, so you can watch it, play along with it. You can only watch it here, unless you get the link, and it just comes right here. So let's see what else. I got some notes up here. Take a look. Special bonus notes at E flat, F, and B flat. So we talked a little bit about it. Be careful when you do that. So if you're interested in joining my school, man, it's a good thing. And you can take free 3-day trial, all right? So that's really kind of cool. And when it comes to my lessons, I have an introduction price of only $30 for 1 hour. It's all recorded. And you can get a chance to pick my brain and get started. If after that, I just have basically $50 an hour prices. You could buy 1 or 2 or 4, however you do it. Okay, by the way, if you're one of those kind of persons, you don't want to really join a group and you don't want to take online lessons, you just like to watch stuff and learn that way because that's the way your brain works best, then I have some play-alongs that you can download and watch the episodes so that you can see. You can play along with them as you start to get more efficient with your playing, all right? And these are high-powered play-alongs. These are this show is geared towards just music, geared towards us, normal people. This stuff goes good. It cooks. Okay, and by the way, I got videos too. So if you like downloads, digital downloads, I've got some really wonderful videos that you can just immediately get gratification. You just take the download, add it to your cart. Once you check out, you'll get a download link, and you're in business. So that's my commercial break. Thank you for bearing with me. Once again, come and join Students and Friends. I'm going to get it more active again as the winter comes. Some of you know I've been kind of laying back because I just put out a new record. We got 7 minutes, and I don't know that I want to play. I want you to hear my new record. How's that? Can I give you a preview? Oh, if I take you to my website, by the way, I just want to show you something. There, if you feel like you can help me or you want to support us, I appreciate it. You'll notice when you go to my website that there's something here called the Four Brothers Project. That's my newest recording, and it's done. Soon I'm going to be inviting all of the members into a private broadcast where we talk about the mixing aspect of and mastering of the project. But if you go to this link, you can still join, and when you join, I'll catch you up on all the private recording sessions, so you can watch us while we recorded this. Remember the day when you said, I wish I could have been in the studio? Well, now you can. So I'm going to take you to the big front, and I'm going to let you preview some of my songs. This is a song I wrote for my son. I like descending changes, they go downwards. Something about that song, da 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 bling Da 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 bling. Those chords going down. When we were kids, we used to go to Italy to see our grandparents, and they would always play that song in the airplane. So this song I wrote for my son, and when we came to record this, Eddie said, the saxophone player, he says, "Do you mind if I play the soprano sax?" I said, "No." So when you listen to this, imagine the soprano sax is my little boy playing. And that's what we have. This is called You Can Always Count on Me. So we'll end the show with this. You can still join. The mix down's coming, and you help me out when you do it. You'll get all of the recordings, and God bless you. Let's listen to this. there it is. You can always count on me. And God bless you. I'll see you next Saturday. Keep in touch. Hope you enjoy playing music. Doesn't have to be a chore. It can be a lot of fun, right? All right. I'll see you later. Thank you very much.